All right, welcome back to Market Day Report. I'm Scott Shellady, otherwise known as the Cow Guy. Thank you very much for joining us. If you're just joining us and if you've been with us all day so far, it's my job to take the baton from Marlon and make sure you stay, okay? How about that? Let's take a look at these markets because they've already made some moves since the radio show I did this morning. Why don't we take a look at corn, what's happening there? Corn is down 7 cents in that May contract, 7.52 3/4. We're about 2.25 cents off the lows. We had been higher, but we were down earlier during the radio show, so that's not really a big change. Dees, new crop down 3 3/4 cents to 7.02 3/4. How about soybeans? They were down too. Actually, might have come back a little bit. Anyway, May off 11.5 cents to 16.19 3 cents off the lows. And we got new crop Novi. It's down 11 3/4 to 14.44. So we lost that 14.50 level. We'll see if we can get that back. How about Chicago wheat? Chicago wheat is down 9.5 cents in the front month. That's May. 10.35 3/4 is last. Kind of in the middle of the day's range there. Really, we've been a little bit higher. And if you go out the curve, go out the deferreds or the curve, whatever you want to call it, it looks like we don't really have those losses in the backs. Dees only off 2 cents, and then March 23 off a half. How about hard red wheat in Kansas City? Let's talk about that for a second. That's off 3 3/4 cents in the May. 10.79 is last in the middle of the day's trading range. But you go out the deferreds. Look at this. We only have a 2 3/4 cent loss in the Dees, a 9 3/4 cent gain when it comes to March. We want it now in March of 23. Spring wheat, Minneapolis. Okay, that's a typo. All right, we've got an 8 1/4 cent loss in the May, 11.03 and I can tell by the little black box next to March that hasn't traded yet today. That's why it says up 29 1/4 cents. Don't be fooled. I almost was. How about cotton? Off 181 points, 135.72 in the May. And that gives me an opportunity to bring in Ryan Kelbrants from CHS. Ryan, thanks for joining the show here this morning.
Happy to be here.
All right, what do you got for us? The floor is yours.
All right, so EIA came out with some ethanol numbers about an hour ago. Ethanol production was off slightly, 33,000 barrels a day to 1 million barrels. Stocks actually fell. That's a positive, down 626,000 barrels to 25.9 million barrels. That's still a pretty elevated number. We did have gas consumption in the U.S. increase 63,000 barrels per day from 8.49 to 8.56. So I did a year-on-year comparison, up about 5% from the same time last year. And we're going to be coming up on that driving season sooner than later, so that's something to keep an eye on. We did have some positive news, but the last 2 days we've just rocketed higher. USDA reported export sales of 132,000 tons of beans to China for the old crop 21-22 delivery. That's interesting, but all eyes are still kind of watching what's happening in the Ukraine. It looks like the Russians have been pushed east a little bit here. Weather patterns in the U.S., we're seeing some moisture in some of the key growing areas with cooler temperatures, though. So field work does remain limited, and we're looking for choppy, volatile conditions to last through spring here.
Yeah, and back to your energy comments, we had an unexpected build in crude oil, too. So that took a turn here as well. So that's gone lower with an overall general feel here on these markets here today. After the Fed's Brainerd had some negative things to say about what we might see going forward. So we'll have to wait and see, but I really appreciate you coming on. Ryan Kelbrants from CHS, thanks for joining the show. We're going to go away, take a quick break, and come back and talk livestock after these messages.